which should you buy? Good morning, YouTube! What's up, everyone? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Today's video is based on a bunch of requests I got in the comments when I reviewed the Magic Speed. I did a first run impressions video 2 weeks ago, I think. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it right here. But a lot of people asked me to compare this shoe to a bunch of shoes, but mostly to the Endorphin Speed from Saucony. And out of all the shoes that I was asked to compare the Magic Speed to, the Endorphin Speed makes the most sense in my opinion, because these shoes are basically in the same category. They are both the younger sibling to the Super Shoe from Asics and from Saucony. Both of these shoes are meant to be tempo day / daily trainers that you can take out when you're doing training runs and run at moderate paces, but also will really shine in the tempo department and kind of be like the training buddy to the Super Shoe. And some would also say that you could race in these shoes if you just don't want to spend the extra money to get the Super Shoe. Both of these are totally capable. If you've been following my channel for a long time, then you probably already know which shoe I would pick, but I don't think that means you should click away, because there might be some advantages here that one shoe has over the other for different types of runs, and they're both great shoes. So we're gonna dive into all of those things today, but first, of course, the run footage. Roll the tape, Ruby. She'll roll it. Started today, I do want to let you know that both of these shoes were sent to me for the purpose of review. However, no one is telling me what to say. No one is going to see this video before you, and all of my opinions, as always, are my own. The Asics Magic Speed is 6.5 ounces for a women's size 7, but for my size 10.5 women's, it was just over 8.2 ounces. The Saucony Endorphin Speed is 6.8 ounces for a women's size 8, and for my size 10.5 women's, the shoe came in at 8.2 ounces. The Magic Speed has a 5mm drop with 34mm of stack in the heel and 29 in the forefoot. The Endorphin Speed has an 8mm drop with 35.5mm of stack in the heel and 27.5 in the forefoot. And for me, both the Magic Speed and the Endorphin Speed are true to size. Let's compare the uppers, shall we? The upper of the Endorphin Speed is a form-fit engineered mesh. To me, this material has just the right balance between sturdiness and breathability. In the midfoot, there are some overlays here, but it's not a ton, just enough to keep your midfoot kind of in place there. And then in the back, we have the heel support frame, just basically a sturdy heel counter that keeps your heel locked in. Now, if we switch over to the Magic Speed from Asics, we have an engineered mesh. It's pretty thin, extremely breathable. Really not very many, if any, overlays in the midfoot, but we do also have a sturdy heel counter here, so you will also get support in the Magic Speed as well. These uppers are pretty different, and it's interesting to see kind of how two different brands approach this tempo day / daily trainer option. In the Speed, the upper is way thicker. It's more kind of borderline daily trainer vibe-ish than the Magic Speed. The Magic Speed is, I think personally, like more towards the racing flat / racer kind of upper. If I turn these shoes this way, you'll see that the Endorphin Speed looks like it has more room in that midfoot. I think it'll be more accommodating to wider feet or just different foot types in general. Again, the Magic Speed does have a more aggressive fit, definitely more narrow. It didn't bother me, but I have a narrow foot, and even I noticed that it's narrow. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it's a skinny shoe. In the Endorphin Speed, you're getting a gusseted tongue that's padded, and in the Magic Speed, you're not. You're getting a very thin piece of fabric that's not gusseted, but luckily it doesn't fall to the side or anything, so I had no problems with it. But if you like a gusseted tongue, the Endorphin Speed has that. Magic Speed does not. If you're looking for a little bit more versatility, maybe a more forgiving upper and a little more durability, I'd say, then the Endorphin Speed is probably your better bet there. And I personally lean towards the Endorphin Speed. Shocker, I know. But I just find it to be more comfortable with that thicker tongue and padding around the ankle collar. It's just more my speed. If you're looking for an upper for your tempo day shoe that is gonna kind of mimic the race day feel, then the Magic Speed definitely has that, and it's a great option. But the good thing about both of these shoes is that I had no issues with hot spots, blisters, irritation, nothing like that, and both do a fantastic job at keeping your foot covered. All right, let's talk about the midsoles. The Saucony Endorphin Speed is using the Power Run PB from Saucony. It's their highest performance foam. It's highly responsive, very bouncy, and very cushioned feeling. Inside of the foam, we have a full-length nylon plate, not carbon. And we also have the speed roll technology, which is basically just a rocker forward to help you roll through your stride. Now the midsole, the Magic Speed, is similar in that it has three things to talk about as well. We have the Flight Foam Blast here for the midsole foam. It's supposed to be a very responsive and bouncy soft foam as well. We have a 4-foot carbon plate here, so it's not full length, but it is carbon, unlike the Endorphin Speed. And then we also have the guide sole technology, another rocker forward tech that Asics is using to get you up on your toes. The Endorphin Speed is gonna give you a higher stack feeling, a bouncier ride, and a lot more cushion underfoot. You feel higher up here than you do in the Magic Speed. Now the Magic Speed is gonna give you a lower to the ground, protective and somewhat responsive ride, but you're really gonna feel that guide sole technology a lot more than you're gonna feel the speed roll. You can tell just by looking at these shoes, if I hold them straight like this, that the Magic Speed curves up way more. I have a lot more miles on the Endorphin Speed than I do the Magic Speed. I have like over 70 in this shoe, and I only have like 15 in the Magic Speed. But I will tell you that even with the mileage difference, even though this shoe's kind of being worn to the ground a lot more than this has, this still feels softer and cushier and bouncier. The Magic Speed has a great ride. It's just a more aggressive, that's how I would describe it. It's more aggressive feeling and more race-based, race-oriented than the Endorphin Speed is. I think the mixture of the Power Run PB being bouncy and springy and kind of soft with that nylon plate, you're still getting the propulsion forward, but it's not quite as aggressive or harsh. So it makes the Endorphin Speed a lot more versatile, I think. But after my run today, which brought this shoe to 15 miles, I do feel like it's giving a little bit and feels a tad bit softer in that 4-foot. So that's great. Maybe it just needs a little break in time. Another thing I want to point out is stability. Now, if you're looking for a shoe that's a little more stable than the other, the Endorphin Speed really is not very stable. I do pronate quite a bit in this shoe. I overpronate as it is. I don't think that this shoe helps that at all, but I just love it so much that I don't care. In the Magic Speed, I do still pronate a bit, but it's not as bad. And I think that has to do with it just being lower to the ground and the Flight Foam Blast in this shoe being just a little more stable. So definitely something to think about, because there's really not a lot of options for stability shoe runners in this category. So you're gonna kind of have to pick a neutral shoe. Now, if you told me I could only pick between these two shoes for a marathon, which one would I pick? I'd pick the Speed, because it has the cushion, it has the propulsion, and it has the response. But if you said to me you have to race a 10K in one of these shoes, which one will you pick? I'd pick the Magic Speed, because I think it's gonna get me up on my toes faster, it's lower to the ground, a more aggressive feel, and I just feel like it's faster, honestly. As for me, I'm going with the Endorphin Speed here. Just think it's an all-around more versatile, better option for the kind of shoes that I like. All right, on to the outsoles, baby. The outsole of the Endorphin Speed is carbon rubber. We have some in the forefoot with some flex grooves, a lot of exposed power and PP in the midfoot, and then we have a little bit of carbon rubber on the heel. The outsole of the Magic Speed is AHR rubber. It pretty much covers the entire forefoot of the shoe into the midfoot, and then as you see, we have some exposed flight foam blast in the heel, and the rubber comes down on both sides of the heel. Obviously, there's a drastic difference here in the amount of miles that I have on each of these shoes. Yes, the carbon rubber is smoothing out a bit here in the Endorphin Speed without question. It's not terrible, but it is definitely there. It doesn't really sacrifice or cause the outsole to suffer in terms of traction, but I'm wondering what it's gonna feel like after 200 miles. The AHR rubber in the Magic Speed is just awesome. I always tell you guys that Asics does a really good job with their outsoles. They're always pretty grippy. I've never had a problem with traction, and I'd have to say the same thing here. And I think it's really great for a shoe that's supposed to go fast. You're not gonna have any problems here slipping and sliding all over the place in this shoe. And from experience, I'd say that the Magic Speed will most likely be more durable than the Speed. I would pick the Magic Speed. I think it has a better quality outsole, not gonna lie. Carbon's not always the king. The Endorphin Speed is $159.95 on runningwarehouse.com, and the Magic Speed is $149.95 on runningwarehouse.com. So $10 difference here. The prices here don't really shock me. It's kind of par for the course when you're in this sort of wheelhouse of shoes. If you're interested in picking up either the Endorphin Speed or the Magic Speed, I will link them down in the description below. Keep in mind, those are affiliate links with Running Warehouse. However, that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos and hopefully help you decide between these two shoes, because it's a hard choice. So if you made it to the end of this video, you kind of know what shoe I'd pick, and you probably knew that from the beginning of this video if you've been following my channel for any period of time. But yeah, I would go with the Endorphin Speed. I just really love this shoe, and I think it's kind of magical. But that doesn't mean that the Magic Speed should be overlooked. If you like a firmer ride, more lower to the ground, sort of traditional racer feel, then the Magic Speed is a 100% better option. You have to determine what you want. Do you want more tempo day daily trainer vibes, or do you want more tempo day racer vibes? Well, folks, that concludes my video. Which should you buy, the Saucony Endorphin Speed or the Asics Magic Speed? If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell down below so you can find out every time I upload a new video. I want to know, which one do you guys like the look of better, the Endorphin Speed or the Magic Speed? I have some more videos for you guys next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time. Shoes over, you'll kind of see what I mean here about, if I turn these shoes this way, you'll see what I mean. The, oh my God, Speed looks, are you kidding? I'm fighting with an ice machine.